Hi friends, it's Deanna Willison from Our Blooming Catholic Life. I want to show you something super quick to those people who say, I have all the sports and things to do this afternoon. I can't look nice for church. This is the same little sunblock hoodie I've been wearing. It's got the kangaroo pocket, all that. Let me show you. And yet, with a sweater on, it looks so much nicer, doesn't it? So I was talking with someone the other day how to make it easier on parents to still choose Mass on Sundays. I was like, I think people are making it too hard. Like, some people don't like going to church in sports clothes or don't think they have time to change or this and that. And I think you do. There's a lot of options in most places in the country, not all, for the ability to go to Mass, and sometimes just having a bunch of sweaters. If you've got a bunch of kids, have just a bunch of sweaters, veils for gentlemen, a nice button-up shirt goes a long way into changing what your outfit looks like in a hurry. As well as ladies, there's a lot of those slip-on shoes. No, not everybody can wear them. Like, I have flat feet, but I'm only walking to church and then I'm only walking up to get the Eucharist. It's the only thing I'm going to do. There's probably like an easy slip-on flat that will look really pretty that I could slip on really quick. Gentlemen, it's a little bit trickier for you to have dress shoes that you could pop on quick instead of your cleats. But I bet you could find something that looks pretty good. Even like a docksider boat shoe would probably look better than cleats in church. And yet be something you could do real quick. And it's something that still looks decent, quick, easy. You know what I'm saying. Don't make it so hard on yourself and say, I can't go to church because. No, you probably can go to Sunday Mass. Daily Mass may be a little bit harder for some, but we do have the ability to go via the internet now. It's not perfect, but it is something there. So again, easy to improve your looks. Guys, a simple sports jacket even. Dress shirt, sports jacket. Normally those give you a little bit more leeway in size than like a t-shirt or something. So you can probably have a bunch of those in the car, have them in a bag, pop them out quick. Super easy. And they're not going to get really dirty if you're only wearing them into Mass and then coming out and taking them off. Just throw them out there. Even ladies, a shawl, something fairly quick. A shawl can really hide things too. Just saying, it's a possibility. So let's look. We're at Matthew chapter 20. We just started this, but really it's a continuation of Matthew 19, which is all about the kingdom. So let's see, we're doing verses 3 through 4. Oh, right. Verses 3 through 5 today. And let's start with our opening prayers. Sorry, I have to fold these back a little bit. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. St. Francis's prayer before the crucifix. Summe glorioso Deus illumina tenebras cordis mehi, et da mihi fidem rectem spem certum et caritatem perfectum, Domini ut facium tuum sanctum et verax mandatum. Amen. So this is Lectio Divina. I'm going to read the passages several times, pausing in between as things pop into my mind or my heart. I may say them out loud. I may not. You may be saying them out loud or not. If you need time to reflect or you have your prayer journal out next to you, feel free to just pause the video and write your reflections. Oftentimes, the first time you read it, it may just be a word that kind of stands out to you, like, I don't know, it's like awkward. Suddenly a word that you've never even heard before is in there, or a phrase that may jump out at you. And then as you hear it the second time, maybe that thought develops a little bit more in the third. And at any time, feel free to pause and pray to God. Again, the prayer before the crucifix, to help clarify that thought in your mind as to what he is trying to say to you. And let's go ahead and read. And going out about the third hour, he saw others standing in the marketplace idle. And he said to them, Go you also into my vineyard, and I will give you what shall be just. And they went their way. And again he went out about the 6th and 9th hour, and did in like manner. Really interesting there. It sounds so simple when you read it superficially. And let's go out again. Why? So every 3 hours he's going out. Did God have a pattern of really reaching out to the people of God at regular intervals? That's something to think about. How long do you wait in between? But he went out 3 times. So he'd already gone out once. He goes out at least 3 more times. And he's seeing others standing in the marketplace idle. That's important too. So There are probably those of us out there, if we go out and look on a Sunday, are there people that are not in church and look like they haven't been in church? They're just standing around idle, right? Do they have a shepherd? Do they have a leader? Do they have somebody? Oh, wow, my husband's leaving work early today. Do they have somebody to guide them? Or are they standing there alone? We've been talking lately so much about the art of accompaniment and journeying with others. So when we go out, do we see others just standing around idle? It might be that they want something to do, but they don't know what to do. What kind of guidance do we do that for them? Are we like this guy? Do we invite them in? He went out 4 times so far in this particular set of verses. 3 times he's gone out and invited people that he's found out there that were idle. Let's look up that word. I know I'm supposed to be reading it again to you, right? And going out about the 3rd hour, he saw others standing in the marketplace idle. And he said to them, "Go you also into my vineyard, and I will give you what shall be just." And they went their ways. And again he went out about the 6th and the 9th hour, and did in like manner. It says they went their ways. What are their ways? Did they choose to go his way? Did they choose to walk away? Just looking up. Oh, it would help if I typed in the actual word, idle. Let's see what the meaning of idle is. Wants to talk about programming a lot with Python languages. Let's look up. This is Merriam-Webster. May not go right here. Not occupied or employed, such as having no employment, not scheduled to compete, lacking worth or basis, like idle chatter, idle pleasure. They could also be shiftless or lazy, meaning they have no evident lawful means of support. Wow. Okay, that changes that meaning as well. So they might just be people that didn't have employment. They didn't have employment. They may not be turned to normal or appropriate use, like idle farmland. Not turned to normal or appropriate use. Ouch. Maybe there are some people that don't even know what they're for. They don't know what to do. Wow. They're not scheduled to compete. The team will be idle tomorrow. Maybe they have some things, but nobody's scheduled them. Nobody's asked them to do it. So maybe they do have skills and they're waiting and they're ready, but nobody has asked them. Lacking worth or basis. Vanity. So maybe he went out and he saw people and they were just goofing around. They were talking about the latest fashions. They were gambling. Like, I don't know. What were they doing? They had lacked worth. Their activity lacked worth, not necessarily the people. Because it does say, and they went their way. It doesn't say they went his way. I always read that he went out continually and invited people in and the people were going in all day. But now I'm second guessing that. Because he said, and going out about the 3rd hour, he saw others standing in the marketplace idle. And he said to them, "Go you also into my vineyard, and I will give you what shall be just." And they went their way. And again he went out about the 6th hour and the 9th hour, and did in like manner. Ouch. Or are they shiftless and lazy, where they have no evident lawful means of support? Yipes. Now that was the adjective. Let's look at the verb, which is not how they're using it, but I just always find that interesting. The verb is to run at low power and also disconnected, usually so that the power is not used for useful work. Gives us a little bit of insight into the word, or to spend time in idleness. A transitive verb is to pass in idleness, to cause to idle. Maybe, are you causing other people to waste time? Are they just standing around on their phone, playing games, ouch, watching YouTube all day? Or are you making them idle, like workers idled by a strike? Are you keeping people from working? Are you keeping people from God? Oh, let's read some of these synonyms that are adjectives. Dead, fallow, inactive, inoperative, off, vacant, dormant, free, inert, latent, unused. For the verb, bum, dally, dilly-dally, foodle, hack around, hang about, kick back, lazy, lull, veg out, chill, dawdle, drone, goof off, hang out, kick around, laze, loaf, or lounge. Ugh. How about some adjectives? Vain, nugatory. Oh, I've never heard that word. Otiose, idle, empty, hollow, mean being without worth or significance. Vain implies either absolute or relative absence of value. Nugatory suggests triviality or insignificance. Otiose suggests that something serves no purpose and is either an encumbrance or superfluity. Idle suggests being incapable of worthwhile use or effect. Empty and hollow suggest a deceiving lack of real substance or soundness or genuineness. Inactive, idle, inert, passive, supine mean not engaged in work or activity. Okay, that one doesn't have the value judgment the others do. Inactive applies to anyone or anything not in action or in operation or at work. Idle applies to persons that are not busy or occupied to their powers or their implements. Inert means things that implies powerlessness to move or affect other things. As implied to persons, it suggests an inherent or habitual indisposition to activity. Ow! Like you hear of it with ingredients, inert ingredients, but they're applying it to persons. It may suggest an inherent or habitual indisposition to activity. This is not sounding good, folks. This is not a happy little part of the parable. Passive implies immobility or lack of normally expected response to an external force or influence, and also often suggests deliberate submissiveness or self-control. Supine applies only to persons and commonly implies abjectness or indolence. Verb, it just get loaf, resting or wandering about as if there was nothing to do. I'm just going to stop. You get the impression here. Oh my goodness, friends. Oh my goodness. And going out about the third hour, he saw others standing in the marketplace idle. And he said to them, "Go you also to my vineyard, and I will give you what shall be just." It's a good offer. And he went out about their way. If you don't know that it's a good offer, go back and watch last week's. And they went their way. And again, he went out in the 6th and the 9th hour and did in like manner. It's sounding like he's not finding workers now. He found some in the morning. Because in the morning it said, and having agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into his vineyard. It's sounding like these went their way. Doesn't say their own way, so I could be wrong here. But it does make you wonder how many people there are. This Bible is here for everyone to hear. There are very few places in the world that have not received the Bible yet. And God is putting out this invitation all the time. The invitation is out there in nature. We can feel that there's a God, that he's drawing us in, that he's showing us his majesty. There is this thing of natural law and natural revelation, as well as the revealed law and revelation, right, in the Bible. And so we have that. And what are we doing? Have we received it? Are we standing around idle? Do we hear the call then when he calls to us? It's one thing when you're standing around, but once you've heard the call, do you answer it? Do you go your own way? Or do you give thanks and go into the vineyard and work? What are you doing? What am I doing? It really hits a little hard here. Okay. I'm going to leave you to meditate on that, and we're going to go ahead and say our prayer. You can meditate on that for a while, and I'll see you again on Wednesday night. Benedicat tibi Dominus et custodiat te, ostendat Dominus facium suum tibi et misereatur tui, convertat Dominus multum sum a te, et Dominus bonus det tibi pacem. Amen.